So, how do we stay focused to laughter? Can we
Oh,
stay
okay, hold
focused?
on. Can I catch up on questions?
No, this is the question we're focusing on right now. Let's focus on this. Let's stay focused.
True.
This is the
True.
point of the question. You know, we're losing focus in our own laughter here. You
That's
know,
right.
and
I
it's
think
like
she's pretty much saying in a nice way. Get
This
it
is a
together.
very good question, though. So,
so all right. So doing improv. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It really is hard when you hit a laugh and you know you hit a laugh. You know, because it's like I ain't gonna brag on myself. I am gonna dust my shoulder off a little bit over here because it's like I
I got that
know
dust on me,
the
man.
art. I'm sorry, man. This it fell
That's
down,
cool.
but I know the art of improv well enough to know. Going back to what me and Rock were talking about, before. I know the craft enough to know that when I make a move, it's a good move, and it's a move that I know it's going to hit, and when it hits, it's going to be laughter, and I know that even myself, who's trying to keep it real on stage, is trying. I'm going to want to laugh because I know it's a good move and I enjoy good comedy. I'm a consumer of good comedy. I really enjoy good stuff. And so, yeah, it's like, I want to laugh. I really do want, I
huge
really do
flex.
want to
But,
laugh.
yeah.
You don't want to
But yeah, we got to keep it real, man. I mean, it's just like if you've ever seen the Stefan character that Bill Hader used to do on SNL, like,
Yeah,
funniest part was that he was trying so hard not
not
to
to laugh.
laugh,
Yeah.
and that's what really sells it. If is that if you could make that character real,
Well,
and
but
that
that's
character ain't.
also the golden part of what improv is because when we break live for the audience or whoever's watching,
Mm,
it humanizes what's happening. You know what I mean? It you get what I mean? It takes you a step back away from the scene and you're like, oh yeah, these guys are making it up on the fly.
Yeah. I think also, like, for me at least, it depends on a few things. If you're serious about comedy, and if I were to teach it to a person who was trying to be serious about it, my thing on it would be like, don't laugh, don't do it, right?
right.
And I think you should actually try to strive towards that in the beginning. My personal opinion, try to strive towards that. Once you've done it enough, and like, look, I've done this enough. I want to have a good time with my partner, and I know my partner wants to have a good time. I think the reason you teach don't break is don't fuck it up for your partner.
That's
You
right.
know, if you're a guy who wants to go to outer space and
yeah.
your partner's like, oh my god, that's hilarious, while this other guy was like, dude, 3, 2, 1, take off. I was more serious about this, and you're laughing about it, giggling about it. That's kind of rude to your scene partner.
Right.
When you do it a lot, you kind of can tell your scene partner is kind of ready for a chuckle too, and that kind of stuff is instinctual. I think just that's also how you know a good player. I break a lot, I think, personally, but I also know
too.
I unfortunately do. I try not to. If I'm like focused and doing it after months, I'm like, oh, I want to do long form. I want to do like slow improv, long form. Oh, it's going to be super real. Oh.
Yeah,
It's great. I'm not trying to mock that. At all, because improv has come out of drama as well as comedy. Or sorry, I should say the other way around. Comedy and drama have come out of improv. But I think that just you have to vibe with your players. Like right now, we're on Twitch. We're playing around, and it's fucking Corona out there. I need to laugh. It's Corona. It's politics, like D was talking about, and he might be saying that he's just getting into politics. We've been talking about this shit because there's always been that shit to talk about for a very, very, very long time. So we gotta laugh sometimes. That's, I guess, my long ass answer.
I'll answer it in a couple of different ways because I'm reading the question as if I'm in a scene and Demetrius makes me laugh, and also if I'm in a scene and I make myself laugh. And that's kind of how you guys answered it before, is if I break, the scene partner is gonna, it's gonna affect them and their wavelength. That's really, really important. And prior, like the step before this question occurs is doubling down on the truth, is what kind of Demetrius and Habibi said, is playing your part and understanding like that character. Just double down on the truth. If you're playing if you're playing whatever, just double drown, just kill yourself, but double down on your truth, and just really try to stay in there. And to be honest, like you heard, we all have cracked. That's the gold part of improv. That's the cool part of improv, when you as a show perform really well, but there's this little cracks in it. I think that's the most beautiful part, because it humanizes it brings reality and a mystical element together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both.
There was
but I would hold on. The instinct is, if you break, shut your mouth.
No.
Yes, do that. I agree with that, right, guys? Like, if you break yourself, like, don't keep laughing and say, sorry, guys, I need a minute. Don't ever do that. But try your fucking hardest to, like, stop laughing.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst thing that happens is that you fail, and then we got Stefan.
Right.
You know the interesting thing about Stefan? I don't know if the story is like different a couple of times. I think I've heard him say it the same way each time. And I love Bill Hader, man. I'm gonna flex so hard real quick. I got to meet him for like 2 seconds outside of a Barnes and Noble, and I was like, I love Bill Hader. But I've heard about the Stefan building, that character, and apparently, like, Bill Hader had terrible anxiety on the show. Like, he was always trying to be like as perfect as he could be. And he's obviously a very naturally funny guy, but he had like actually crippling anxiety apparently. And apparently Lauren told him, I guess it was after his like 4th or 5th season or something, and he was just like, look, man, like, we all know you got anxiety. Just go enjoy yourself. Like, actually have fun with it. And I think that was at the same time that the Stefan character kind of came out, and that was just perfect for him, you know? Because he was almost billed as almost like the next Phil Hartman. I think, at least, Bill Hader, just this incredibly punctual, you know, straight man of all impressions kind of type. And Phil Hartman would never break, like, ever, I don't think, at least. I would throw him as professional. Like, that would be, like, one of the things I think you would throw on Phil Hartman's epitaph. It's like, he's a super professional dude. And I really can't think of him breaking on that show. I think he was, like, one of the best straight men to have been on that. But yeah, I guess the whole point, I think, is like, oh wait, she got a question.
I was just typing a response. I didn't want to enter. Was the sound of my typing already interrupting y'all?
They done broke into another conversation and shit.
No, but hold on a second. All right, but since we've already broken the flow, it'd be funny to me though if I thought I was trying to be respectful. I should have muted my mic, but if it was just like tap 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 tap. But no, I never finished the Legend of Zelda game. I got caught up in Ganon's castle one time. I came home. I was a little bit intoxicated, and I tried to beat it, and I got lost, and I never jumped back into it. I never jumped.
This is officially my favorite podcast. It's like only side questions. I love it, just randomly. That was beautiful.
It's funny when you take it seriously.
Did you finish answering the question, Demetrius?
What's up? Oh yeah, I'm done.
By the way, I think she asked that question like half an hour ago.